What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that bell so you'll get a notification anytime I go live and anytime I post a video. And if any moment during this video you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that like button so we get to the algorithm and more people can see this content. Let's get into this. Today, we're going to watch a clip where Bilzerian admits that he has slept with thousands of women over the years. And at the end of the day, he says he would rather be in a monogamous relationship. Is he tripping? Is he on to something? What do you guys think about this? We're going to watch this clip, and I'm going to break this all the way down.
3 girls a day on average, at least, at a minimum. I mean, if I only had sex with 2 girls in a day, that was like we're having some real off day or something, right? Yeah. And some days 4, sometimes 5, 7. The most was 9.
How many women have you slept with in your life total?
Thousands. I had this image in my mind when I was growing up of like how awesome this would be. I don't know. What I kind of landed on was I think it's like better to have a monogamous relationship. As strange as that is coming from me. You got 2 choices. You could just like do whatever you want and, be free and like allow the women to be free and just use condoms with all the girls and not care about if they hook up with other guys and it's just like purely sexual and whatever. Or I think you can find a girl that you enjoy spending time with and that you actually trust each other. But I think it's unlikely to find a woman that is going to be okay with you sleeping with other women that actually cares about you for the right reasons. Even if the girl is okay with it, I think that you cause internal damage to her. I do think that one cool girl that does stuff with you that you actually have a mental connection with, I think the sex is better. I think you're more relaxed. I think you have less things to deal with, less distractions. Your energy's not being pulled in a bunch of different directions. So I think there is hope to the longer term monogamy and staying attracted to the woman.
All right, guys. So you saw that, you heard that, right? In the end, he said there's hope in finding a woman and, living in a monogamous relationship. Now, all the other stuff he said, pretty good. He slept with thousands of women, and he said it'll be hard to find a woman who would agree to you sleeping around with other women and actually being a woman who cares about you for the right reasons, right? He also mentioned women who have multiple sex partners, having a lot of emotional damage on the inside, so on and so forth, on and on and on and on and on, right? So we get that, right? So what do you guys think about this, right? What do you guys think? Now, I watched a panel where a lot of guys were saying it's in a man's nature, and if men could have it their way, they would have multiple partners and all this other stuff, right? And a lot of men try to make that argument about how it is in a man's nature to have several sexual partners. A lot of men make that argument. And to a degree, there's only a little bit of truth to that. Now, there's a difference between having a desire to have multiple sexual partners and actually being attracted to multiple women. Now, it's a fact that men are attracted to multiple women. But as far as men wanting to have multiple sex partners, now I'm talking about at the same time. I'm talking about in the same time period. In the same month, let's just say you're dealing with multiple, or in the same year, in the same decade, or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you're dealing with multiple women. Now, I would argue that if most men had the opportunity to do that, they would actually opt to have the one woman who they really, really want, right? They will see that dealing with multiple women at one time is a headache, right? It can be a headache, especially when you have to take care of all of them. Now, let's take away the fact of taking care of all of them, right? That's polygamy, right? Let's just say in general, right? Most guys would not be able to handle that type of situation, if we're being honest. there's only a small percentage of men who could actually pull that off. There's only a small percentage of men who could actually pull that off. Now, I could look at myself, for example, right? Throughout my life, I've been single, relationship, single, married, right? So, in between my relationships and marriages, I would date, I would mess with different chicks, I would do my thing, right? And if I'm being honest and all 100% transparent, whenever I was dealing with the women in my singleness and I was just kind of jumping around, it was only fun for a little while. I would always hit points to where I wanted something more serious. And if I was going to have sexual intercourse with someone, I wanted it to be more solid. I wanted it to have meaning to it, right? I wanted it to be more passionate. I wanted to care about who I was having sex with, right? Not just a chick who I'm just going to knock down. All right, cool. I'll holler at you later. Holler, see you next time. Whatever, right? There was a lot of emptiness in doing that, especially when you are someone who has a lot of experience in doing that. Now, you have a lot of guys who really haven't really been around the block like that, and they feel like, oh man, that'd be great. That's all they think about. But and another part is too, depends on how good you are, how dominant you are at doing that, right, in this sexual act. If you're in there dominating, you know, you don't need, but the numbers ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? You're proven. I feel like guys who are less proven would have to keep, feel like they gotta go. Not saying that guys who are dominating are doing numbers. Guys who, are dominating. I'm not saying that they're not doing numbers. But what I'm saying is, if you know who you are and you know what you bring to the table when it comes to that, you don't need a gazillion. You see what I'm saying? To really feel fulfilled as a man in doing those things. You really don't. I've been there and done that. And again, I'm a guy who can admit, I was like, man, yeah, I'm about to hang out with this chick, do this, do that. But I would really have someone who is special to do that with. So it would be meaningful, as we engage in this act of sex, right? I wanted it to be meaningful. So what he's saying is 100% thorough. A lot of guys, again, they speaking to nature. And the truth is this. As human beings, we have a sin nature. We want to do all types of things that are sins. We want to do all types of things that will land us in bad situations, bad predicaments, bad lifestyles, so on and so forth. That is in our nature, right? But when you follow God, you are to turn from your sin nature, right? You are to deny yourself of many things. I can name a few, right? In the Bible says the body's your temple, right? You're supposed to take care of your body. It's in our nature to go to the store, buy a bunch of junk, stuff that tastes good, this, that, and the third. Go to the restaurants, buy a bunch of junk, buy a lot of stuff that tastes good. Go to the bakery, buy a lot of, right? But if you indulge, if you live in that, if you walk in that, you're going to put yourself in bad health and in bad situations in many other ways, right? You're going to put yourself in the hospital. You ain't going to live as long, right? But your sin nature is to do those things. But because you have different values, you turn from that. Another thing, there are a lot of men out here who, if the laws against it weren't as bad, right, they'd be robbing banks left and right, robbing stores. They'd be robbing a Loomis man as he's about to load the ATM machine. They'd be doing a lot of those things, right? Because we need money, right, to live out here. So again, that's in your sin nature, but you know better. You know the consequences, so you veer away from that. Just like going back to sex. If you have sex with as many women as possible and as many men as possible, right? You can end up with diseases, AIDS. You can end up with unwanted children, like a lot of people out here, ending up with. These are the risks. But again, that is in your sin nature to do, right? Because people, it's in our nature to do this. We're turning from our nature. You're supposed to turn from your sin nature, right? In many ways, you're supposed to turn from your sin nature. But a lot of people try to justify it and indulge in these things because they say, yeah, well, in other countries, they practice this and they got all these women and they're doing this and they're doing that. We're only frowned upon it here. Well, maybe it's for your own good. Maybe it's for your own good. And the bottom line is this. You should find a spouse who you love and they love you back and you guys have a desire for each other. And your job in that marriage and that relationship is to fulfill each other, right? Both of you guys should want to fulfill each other. Both of you guys should want to attract each other. That's a big thing. Some of y'all don't care about how you look, how you take care of yourself. You ain't in the gym. A lot of y'all ladies ain't taking care of yourself, ain't taking care of your bodies, your hair, your face. Y'all ain't eating right. Men, some of y'all same thing. Y'all ain't eating right. Y'all ain't working out. Y'all ain't staying healthy, right? Your morals and values off. Some of y'all men ain't following God. So you truly aren't really someone who should be leading, right? But it's a lot going on as to why people dabble into these alternative lifestyles. It's a lot going on. But like he said in the video, he's been there and done that. He said it's best to be in that monogamous relationship, right? Eliminate a lot of that damage and trauma, right? So what do you guys think about that? Right? What do you guys think about that? Is he off? Or is he on to something? Am I off? Am I on to something? Right? What's the deal? What's the deal? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like this video. Share this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Also, subscribe to the YouTube, Speech to Beast. And remember, guys, keep God first. As it says on the wall, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15. I love you all. Be blessed.